And we are live. Welcome back to 6 Covered, everybody. We're going to have some fun tonight. Something a little different. There's a message. There's a message. Not from me, though I agree with a lot of it, if not all of it. But I think it would be kind of cool to try this out. I don't shock myself from all this damn extension, my little cords over here. But let's get out here and say hi to everybody. We got, first one here was Carcane. We got Derby Pyro 187. And then, let's see, we got Mario. How you doing, Mario? Tim Davis, the other Tim Davis. And we got Orion Fixers out there, Jerry Parker, Brian Marks. And we got Brian sitting in staging still. Stay stable. We just sent, I got 2 more people on hard coverage, and I just sent someone to the Lightning Complex up there, Brian, way up north, I think 5 hours away. So Team 6 is on the Lightning Complex. A bunch of lightning went in and started a bunch of fires. So I'm not sure on the number of fires, but there's a bunch. Chris Smith's out there. What's going on? DW. I'm watching Vietnam in HD. I watched Hamburger Hill last night. I watched Hamburger Hill. And it's been a long time since I watched Hamburger Hill. How many of you guys have seen Hamburger Hill? It's an oldie but goodie. Nayers out there. Let's see. I'm soldering a new XY stick on an Xbox controller. Papa's Place says Rick is never on time. That is an official correct statement. I don't have an official time. I never really wanted an official time because then it would just be I don't know. You gotta have it. You gotta feel it. You gotta feel it coming. As soon as the tea kicks in, boom, it's there. It's there. So I'm on bucket number 2. So I'm doing pretty good. This won't last very long, so I'll probably have to hit 3. And then you know how it goes. Rick said he's waiting for a charity chat to end. I did. I didn't want to. We got a lot of great people out there, and I really don't try to jump on here when somebody's on here. If I wasn't paying attention and I start a chat and I already went live, I'll continue on. But I do try to at least try to look and see, make sure, my buddies out there aren't having something. And this was a special occasion. There was a gentleman, I can't think of his name. He basically his house caught on fire from a lightning strike. And all the money went to getting him back up and running. So those guys over at Crazy Scotsman and Alan B. Pro and Jamie and all those guys out there, Mario Mosen and Daniel got as my judge. And who else am I missing? Val was on there for a little while, a couple others. But all that money definitely goes to Justin's final mission. And today's money went to helping him out. So I wanted to make sure people weren't over here. I wanted to give them the time that they needed to raise charities for someone in need, in the YouTube community. So it was what I could do to at least not rain on their parade or take a couple people away. So that's what happened. Let's see here. What's the name of the Crazy Scotsman channel? The Crazy Scotsman's channel is what it's called. Yep, there you go, Jerry Parker, the Crazy Scotsman. Rick linked the video above. So I don't know if you guys had a chance to see this. I will be playing this, and this is kind of something that I don't normally do. I'm not a very political guy. I'm here to have fun, entertain, if you want to call it that. Maybe give some words of advice and to learn from you guys as well. That's the important part. As long as we're all learning together, I feel like these chats definitely help people for the most part, or maybe make you have a smile if you had a bad day or whatever the case is. But let's see. TB says, how's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Please hit the like button for Rick because it helps the YouTube algorithms to suggest Is Your Six Covered channel to more people. Appreciate that, TB. TB's he's been a great supporter of the channel for for a long damn time. And he actually did you guys a favor, just so you know, and it probably won't be this chat, but TB, I don't know if you guys have, I'm sure you guys have seen him out here. He actually purchased 2 extra hats that he wanted me to give away. at an upcoming live chat. So when I actually get them in my hands, when I get back to the great state of North Carolina, I will be giving away 2 hats on TB. I don't want to say his name because he has TB there for a reason, but a great contributor to the channel. And TB, that's awesome of you. When I get home and I can get those hats out, I'll be sending yours out. But yeah, 2 of you guys, not on this chat, but one coming up soon when I get back. I fly home the 19th, so it'll be like the 20th or after is when I'll be giving away those 2 hats. So that's pretty cool. So again, thanks, TB. They are finishing up now. Yeah, okay, I'm catching up. What's up, Glenn Trumbo? How you doing? Larry Palmer's out there. DW. You give everyone that feeling like we need to take the blue pill. LOL. So I don't know if you guys have seen that yet, and I'm going to play it. It's 11 minutes long, and then we can talk about it afterwards. And the reason why I'm actually playing it is because I thought the information was pretty good. It has a message, and the message, depending on who you are, how you feel, and all that kind of stuff, could be a great message. It could be, it might just get your brain working in a way that it's never worked before. And it'll be kind of cool. So we'll do that in a minute. It'll be around this time when I get rid of this. I'll pour it into there, and I'll make a new batch, and it'll be just enough time to go through it. And I think you guys will enjoy it. So free ? I hit the like button, and $150 was drained out of my bank account. Let's see, where are you? DW, I'm still behind enemy lines, my friend. Come on, everyone can show up. Lowe's channel, thumbs up button. Let's see. Carcan, I feel like we're going to have to make some commemorative patch for everyone that made it through the hour of this waiting for Rick. I survived. That's pretty cool. That'd be a funny shirt on. I survived waiting for Rick to go live. It's got a ring to it. Does anyone have an M1A for sale? Man, I tell you what, trying to find stuff is crazy. Where's Elmo? Is he still alive? Someone killed him, boy. Actually, there's an Elmo that Richard was giving me at that little at the 3-gun match in Florida, the Nationals. That one's gonna survive, but we have the big Elmo, and that one's probably not gonna make it. So we'll see what happens. New t-shirts. I'm still waiting for Rick. But did I say at a Holiday Inn last night? Let's see. I'm still waiting for Rick. I can't find a stripped M&P lower anywhere. I tell you what, nobody can find anything right now. Where in the hell is Elmo and Rick? Let's see. Talking Rock's out there. I'm far from first, but I made it. I was thinking Little X and Elmo would make a great team over on R squared, but they want to kill him off. That would be kind of cool too. Let's see. After couldn't pay rent, Elmo's work. A lot of lizard down at the cookout. We'll get you sorted for 3 coupons. You guys are out of control. I like it. Behind the granola curtain. That's actually a good way to say that. Let's see. KB's in the house. That is my partner coming up for the Snipers Unknown. The Unknown Sniper match in South Carolina. Abigail's out there. Very cool. Carcane. I already bought my favorite pistol the other day, the HK P30L. Yes, John Wick's gun. I know KB is up on that one too. Let's see. What's up, Bill Shadrick? How you doing there? What's going on? Andrews is out there. Robert M. What the hell? Killing is killing, boy. All right. Joaquin's out there as well. Awesome, awesome. I need to get Joaquin's address, actually. Steel Punisher 69, John Jeffries. Send me a link. I will send you. There he is. Silver Fox is in the house. Skulls out there. Lynn Holt. Man, you guys showed up like a damn ninjas. All of a sudden it was poof. Let's see. Rick time is like Indian time, and that's okay. That I say because I'm part Native American. I hear you. I know exactly what Indian time is. I do. It's when I start. All right. So, how long has it been going on? Okay, so here we go. We are going to have some fun. And then KB, I will give you an intro. It's going to be, I think it's 10 minutes long. But we're going to do this because I want to, I don't know if I'd call it educate the people. And I would say that most of you guys know this, but we're going to do this anyways because actually my buddy out there, he knows who he is, sent me this. And it had said, I'm afraid to share this. Now, I don't know if he said it or was part of the post from before, but we're going to do it live here on YouTube. So let me get going. Let me get it started. Actually, I need this part first. And then we're going to talk about it after. Not too long though, but I think there's something good in here. Let's see. Here we go. It's just a mask. All right. Hold on. All right. Pause. Turn it up. And here we go. Hope you guys enjoy the 10-minute show. And this is going to give me time to get some tea. So think about the message. Think about the message. Here we go. It's movie night. It's just a mask. My version. Greater good. It's just a vaccine, you guys. Don't be a jerk. It's for the greater good. In 4 months, the U.S. has almost transformed into an obedient socialist country. The government dictated what social events were acceptable to attend. Violent protests that instill fear are okay. Church services, family funerals, and patriotic celebrations are, however, dangerous. And most of you bought it without a fight. Standing in a graduation line is a safety hazard. Small businesses were forced to close, but crowds to support the corporate money machine like Walmart, Lowe's, and Home Depot are allowed. Come on, it's just a mask and safety precautions. How about a little hush money? Here's $2,400 that we stole out of your paycheck in the first place. Use it to buy something from a big corporation. Cash is dirty. We can't give change. There's a coin shortage. Use your card, unless there is a cash tip jar. In 4 months, they have convinced you to use a traceable card for almost everything. In less than 4 months, governments have closed public schools, then restructured education under the guise of public safety. In less than 4 months, our government demonstrated how easily people assimilate to guidelines that have no scientific premise whatsoever because they were fearful. In less than 4 months, our government successfully instilled fear in the majority of the population of America that allows them to control every aspect of your life, including what you eat, where you go, who you see, and how much toilet paper you buy. And the most dangerous and terrifying part is that people are not afraid of this government who removed their freedom. They're afraid of their neighbors, family, and friends, and they hate those who won't comply. It's absolutely terrifying to me that people don't question authority. They are willing to surrender their critical thinking skills and independence. They just gave up without thinking, without a fight. Do you know what's coming next? It's just a vaccine. Come on. It's for the greater good. Wait until you're told that you can't enter any store or business without proof of the vaccine. Wait until you can't go to public events or get on a plane without proof of receiving the vaccine.
Don't think it's possible? You've already allowed the government to say when you can go outside and when your children can take part in a new digital education. And this was just in the last 100 days. And you followed blindly because you were told to do so. You're kidding yourself if you think this mass behavior won't be repeated with a vaccine or whatever the next step is.
See, their morals, their code, it's a bad joke. Dropped at the first sign of trouble. They're only as good as the world allows them to be. I'll show you. When the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll eat each other.
Once they have popular control, they have the masses. I'm sure there are many people who know that they should do something, but it's always been easier to ignore it than fight back. We've seen it in other countries throughout the years, but it could never happen here in America, right? They have you without a thought, without a fight. Just about everyone around you and everyone walking the streets right now gave in and went with the herd. They didn't do this because they were afraid, they did it because they were lazy. Being lazy is always easier and is built on compromise. This time, however, is different. Sure, you're comfortable sitting on your couch watching streaming movies, but consider this. Outside your house, almost nothing is happening. There are almost no sports anywhere. The city basketball courts are empty. The park baseball fields are empty. Soccer fields, skateboard parks, volleyball courts. Nothing is being used. And the professionals, the one who gets paid to play these games for a living, they are scrambling for answers. How exactly do you not pack people into a stadium or arena and still make money? No box seats, no concessions, no place to walk up and buy a ticket, a reduced schedule, and if you have an enclosed stadium, you are screwed. You get nothing. Almost every musical group in the world right now is stuck in a studio working on albums that they can release but can't tour to promote. How does that work? And it goes much further than thousands of fans who aren't allowed into arenas. Every celebrity who has a talk show with a studio audience is on hold, and all of these groups are interconnected. Big budget movies, as you knew them, are currently dead. Not because the studios can't break virus protocols and put film teams together. The movie theaters have been crippled for months. As long as the perceived virus threat exists, they won't be able to open at even half capacity. Oh, and the only way theaters turn a profit is from popcorn and soda, which they can't sell you. Every school from primary to university is currently lost at sea with no compass. No one has a clue how to open their institutions without breaking protocol because their systems were literally designed to pack as many kids into one place as possible. Everything from small classrooms to lunchrooms to gymnasiums were built with the exact opposite of social distancing in mind. How in the hell do you reverse that and educate at the same time without rebuilding all the schools?
All right. So I got a good comment out there. Got a bunch of good comments out there, but Mike D, he did a spot on job here. He says that I'm not sure if Rick realizes that 99% of us on here feel this way without having to hear this already. So that is a good point, and it's called preaching to the choir. But it may have opened somebody's eyes. I saw a lot of good comments out here, and the rest of it is in the description below if you're interested in watching the rest of it. There's 4 minutes left. I did not want to. I was using it as a commercial so I could actually get. Let me do this real quick. I get my tea on. So What do you guys think of that? Did you guys ever see that before? Have you seen that before? All right, so let's see. Redneck Purposes got yelled at the dollar store. Next time I wore my NBC mask, they put me at the front of the line. Don't wear one now, no problem. There's a lot of people at stores. I mean, clerks going nuts, Drew Bradley says. KB spooning with his rifle, which is a good thing. Why did you not draw a black person? Joke's on you. Into that shit me when the ATF says, what am I doing illegal? All right, so F the vaccine. Yeah, so that's basically the kind of what I wanted to hit on. And I'm just going to talk about it for a couple more minutes, and then we can move on, have some fun. But if they come out with a vaccine, let's say next week, how many of you guys are going to get the vaccine? How many of you guys are going to get the vaccine? Or how many of you guys think there's going to be some type of microchip inside of that vaccine? Esau says, first time I heard the presentation. Yeah, I thought it'd be kind of cool. It might wake somebody's eyes up. Maybe somebody hasn't seen it yet. But it's kind of like, hell no, not me. Hey, what's up, your friendly neighborhood dealer? Hitting steel. What's going on? Yo, yo, yo. Exactly. So if they came out with a vaccine, I would be like, nope. How many of you guys get the flu shot every year? How many of you guys get the flu shot every year? The only micro I'll take is a microtech. I like that answer. That's pretty damn good. Let me get some invites going here, and we'll have some fun. But if for some reason I was able to wake you up, then I did something good for the day. Let me I can be able to read your comments for a second, but let's get this going. We got that. We got that. We got that going. Let's send those out, and we'll see what happens. Command V. Boom. All right, here we go. Now we can have some fun. All right, let me get back to it. All right. Hi, Rick. +5. Bye, Rick. And 5. See you all in a little bit. All right, you have a good one. What's up, William? How you doing, William? I get the flu shot, Esau says. I used to get the flu shot years ago. And when I found out that there's so many possibilities of different strings and they're trying to guess at which one is going to be the one. What's up, Ray Porter? And it's basically a scientific, guess. And they really don't know. Anyways, you get people to get the flu shot and then they get the flu or feel like crap, blah, blah, blah. I started skipping those. Years back. See, your friendly neighborhood dealer says never got it since I had legal permission to decline. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Drew Bradley says 25 years. Steel Punisher used to for years ago at church today. Our friend's wife, no mask. Asked my wife, and I sit with them. Took off our masks, stood up, and sang. 10 minutes later, the elders took their masks off. Awesome. When you can't go to a church, but you can go get alcohol, you can go do this, you can go do that. It's pretty sad. Let's see. Masks are effective as shitting through a screen door. I could do that some days, especially if I use monk fruit sugar. I can do that. Saving my coins up is your 6 arc. Saving my coins for is your 6 arc. I think you're going to enjoy that, D Young. I know the bolt action. I know Kenny actually got some really good groups with his 6mm arc bolt gun, so that's pretty cool. Let me text a couple monkeys here. The flu mutates. It evolves and is astonishingly fast rate. Just give me a colonoscopy. Saving my colon. Let's see. Get the flu shot every year. Note the shots are a year behind, so no Russian vaccine. They will not have a workable vaccine until next year at the earliest. Yeah, these people that keep saying they're really close, man, I don't know how you could be really close unless you started before this even had mutated into we'll just call it the corona light virus. I don't advocate stealing at all, but about 10 to 12 years ago, I stole 4 shots from my old doctor, ran them through my mass spectrometer, all sorts of crap in them. Oh, wow, that's some crazy information, Drew. Check that out, folks. What up, Skunk Ape? Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully everybody's doing well. People are being impacted. Yeah, Lynn Holt, great point. Now, I'm not saying that this is not, I'll put it up here so everybody else can read it. I'm not saying that this is not, people are not getting impacted, getting sick, and dying from this. What I'm saying is, remember 9/11, the day before 9/11, when you could pretty much just get on an airplane, no problem, and do all this and do all that, and we lost our freedoms because of 9/11, right? The Patriot Act and all the stuff. I think we're going to lose a lot more freedoms with this. So with that, keep that in mind, that I'm not saying that there is no such thing or that people are not getting sick from it. But I will say that I hate to see what the new norm's going to be if the new norm is not what we're used to. Hoot says, here in Oklahoma, all the stores or anything that's open to the public, workers have to wear them to keep their jobs, but don't enforce customers to wear them. And I never wear them unless I'm taking wife. I am required to wear one of these masks while I'm at work, meaning if I wasn't in my office and I was basically going into the different buildings, or going to go get something to eat or whatever the case is, I am required to wear one. And, you do what you do. The rules are the rules. Now, when I'm home, the rules are a little different. Unless I'm hungry and the only way to eat is to get in there, wear the mask, pass the person in the thing, be able to sit down and eat. The rules, just some of the things that they have in place just seem kind of silly how it is. Yeah, the Shaggy Rifleman says, no new norm. I don't want a new norm. Really, really don't want a new norm. For sure. Let me text. Sent. And let me text KB. And then we'll get going. Again. There we go. John Townley, what's going on? See, I draw the line here. Later, I draw the line here. Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of weird because you're like, I'm not going to do this. And then you're like, okay, well, now I can't go into that store, say, right? And the same thing with the chip. And I don't know if that even got to the chip or not, but basically they say, okay, 3 months from now, you are required to have the vaccine if you want to go eat somewhere. You want to go into Lowe's or Home Depot, or you want to go into any grocery store, whatever the case is. There will be a point where you, not being chipped, not being vaccinated, may not be able to do anything. So self-reliance, growing your gardens, maybe having cattle and milk and all the stuff you normally need, and maybe you don't need to go into town anymore. But there's going to come a point where they can really push this, and we're going to be screwed. So Jerry Parker says, say no to the New World Order. Gotta agree. New norm is no ammo, Mario says. When they can't take your guns anymore, right? So let's just say that Kamala she becomes the president because Biden is so sick and he can't remember what he's even doing and he's pissing himself and shitting himself. And Kamala Harris has to take over. And all of a sudden, she says, okay, well, I've tried to, basically take everybody's firearms, their guns, all that stuff, and I can't do that. But what I can do is I can take everybody's ammunition. I can take everybody's loading supplies and reloading supplies. Now what? So, what do we do? I'm glad they haven't really worked this in, because if you think Kamala, if I was that person that wanted to do that, I'd say, okay, everybody can keep their guns, but there's not going to be any lead. Now there's lead everywhere, and you guys can basically cast and all that stuff and kind of get into the point of being able to understand how things were done maybe a couple hundred years ago. Or could you right now, if the internet was down, I couldn't do it even if I had the internet working, figure out a way to make gunpowder. Like, do you know how to make gunpowder, where to find gunpowder, what the hell it's even made out of? Like, if all of a sudden, like, you're out in the middle of nowhere, you had no gunpowder, and you had plenty of shells, and you had this and that, but the only thing you were missing was you found lead and old car weights, and you basically melted them down, turned them into bullets. Do you know how to make powder? Like, that's the way that's scary, is when you don't have supplies, and especially right now, you can't find anything, right? You got a lot of new gun owners out there, which is good and scary all at the same time. But when they deny your weapons and ammo, I start stacking bodies. There you go. I do know how to make powder. So Eric knows how to make powder. So that's good. I have property with lead deposits. Man, Eric's all dialed in. Eric's down the street from me, so that's good. Maybe he can show me how to make gunpowder. But what I'm saying is, if you don't have the resources and you don't have the knowledge, and I'm not preaching, I'm not saying I know how to do all this. What I'm saying is if we don't know how to do all this, maybe we should figure out how to do stuff. So Jerry Parker says charcoal, saltpeter, potassium. Okay, well, where do you get potassium? You got Lynn Holt says black powder. Yes, but it's still smoky as all get out. The smokeless stuff, no, but working to find out how. I'd take a super smoky powder if it was going to work, right? Eric says, I gotcha. Let's see. It's all part of the New World Order. But that's kind of where I'm getting at, is it's, back in the day, I was a big, when I started the channel, it was kind of more of a prepping channel, and then it turned to more of a lot more shooting, competitive shooting, blah, 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 blah. But it's always good to like spark people's interest or make people think again. Because we do our normal daily lives. We go out, hopefully we're out shooting and practicing, having fun and all that stuff. But if everything dries up, stump remover has potassium in it. See, but how do you separate that? Like, I can just keep going with this. Like, okay, how do you separate the potassium from the stump remover? You know what I mean? Like, can we really make ammo? Or, figuring out how to find, can we make primers? Right? It's almost like, it's almost good to like have some black powder stuff, because it's kind of like the last resort of the last resort. Mix cat piss mixed with matchstick heads. See, you guys are smart. You guys got a lot of info here, and this is kind of the thing. This is how we learn. This is, what makes the day go, what makes the chat move around. If you don't have body armor now is the time to order. Shaggy Rifleman brings up a good point. If you don't have something, for you and your family, right? Depending on, a family of 1 or a family of 10. It's good to have that stuff. Now, I will tell you, I need to actually get some new panels because I was very cheap back in the day, and I actually bought AR500 plates, which was fine, but it doesn't have the spalling protection on it. So more than likely, I would just end up with a bunch of pieces in my basically here, and I would bleed out and die. So something to think about. Maybe it's time to do a little upgrade. Just make black powder. You need potassium nitrate, charcoal, and sulfur. Shaggy Rifleman's waiting for a gas mask, getting the funds. What's realistic is every single resource is useful. See, and that's the thing. If you think about, let's kind of go another way. Let's go another direction. Hoplite is the best plates. Let's check that out. The like Daniel's a good person when it comes to being self-sufficient. He has different animals. He has his own working farm. He has his own vegetable gardens, and it's not just a little tiny one. It's bigger ones. He has the ability to be pretty much self-reliant between hunting deer and other stuff that's on his land, plus, his goats and all that kind of stuff. And that's got to be comforting. He knows how to can foods that maybe he harvested through the day. I'm gonna invite Daniel on here. I don't know if he's busy or not, but it'd be good. He's got some great knowledge. If you guys haven't seen his channel, go check him out. Let's see if I can find it here. Later, let's see. There it is. Let's see if he jumps on here. I think it'd be good to talk a little bit about being self-reliant. I know I could do a way better job. I'm kind of in the middle of moving down the street per se. I don't know where yet. I'm still figuring out where I want to live. I praise anyone that does so. Good comment there. And I will eat hippies, Daniel says. Let's see. I highly encourage it. So even if you don't have, say you live in a tract house and you don't have the ability to go out and, grow a huge garden, whatever the case is. Do you have seeds? Do you have seeds available? We got the castaway here. Let's see. Let's get him in here.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, Mr. Daniel?
Yeah, that's left there because we had the cast off tonight.
Yeah, I know. You guys did a great job. You raised a bunch of money. I actually waited for you guys to finish before I went live. I didn't want to step on anybody's toes or any of that stuff. So, looked like it went good.
Yeah, we had a good time too.
So I was talking a little bit about being self-reliant. Not so much just trying to wake some people up, maybe start, if they're not prepping of some sort now, but thinking about it or whatever the case is. It's always good, right?
Yeah, I really started getting into it after the whole last ammo scare and this stuff, the way things were coming in society. I just started expanding my gardens, getting more and more out there because I like this COVID thing right now. You're seeing supply chains being interrupted, and they can't keep up with ammo because you got workers, the workforce that's making the ammo, they're affected by people that are off because of COVID. The truckers who deliver it, and when this whole started, they were really restricted. And I'm just really worried about here come November, what's it going to be like? What kind of chaos is going to be going on? Because you're looking at defund police, really?
Yeah.
And what have I been saying for a few years now? Watch out for the federalization of all law enforcement, where your local control gets taken away. And I see this whole defunding thing in the riots; it's leaning that way.
It's ridiculous what our politicians are letting happen, for sure. Now, I will say, when this whole COVID thing had started, I remember talking to a farmer, and he was saying that basically because everybody got laid off, right? So say I'm a large farmer, and I grow let's just call it potatoes, and I got thousands of acres of potatoes, and they're all at the point where I need to pull them out of the ground and harvest them and get them off to the stores. Well, no one's going to the stores, no one's going to the restaurants, no one's doing this, no one's doing that, but I just laid everybody off. They basically tilled up a good, I'm going to say 1/3. I don't know that that's even close to the number, but basically they can't find anybody to pick it, so it's going to go rotten anyways. They got no way to truck it and all this other stuff, right? So they had to plow all that up. Well, I was thinking, you know what? Our food supply, our shortages are going to triple, because we're going to have issues finding stuff. So I planted a little bigger garden this year. Nothing tiny. I mean, it's tiny compared to what you're running, but just being able to know how to grow a garden is half the battle. Like this little one that I have, if you at least know how to do it, you got the seeds available. Like I have those emergency seed banks, and it has a little bit of everything in there, and you got to know when to plant what and all that kind of stuff. But it's good information to know. It doesn't mean you have to have a 200-acre garden. It doesn't mean you got to, but if you understand it, maybe plant some stuff in your backyard of some sort. It's always good to at least do some testing, experimenting, right?
Yeah, if you get about a 40 foot by 40 foot garden going, I mean, you can raise enough feed, vegetables and potatoes, and if all you got to do is know how to can, and you can have yourself and feed a family of 4, or you just have enough vegetables right there till your next season comes around, so you can have enough for a year. And getting meat, okay, develop hunting skills. I mean, you go out there and kill a couple squirrels, but there's times when you can't eat squirrels because they have, they got bugs, and you don't want to be eating something that's got bugs. You got to wait for the frost to hit.
And same with the rabbits too.
Yeah, same with the rabbits. But it's all just start off. Don't get overwhelmed with it. Just start doing things, and you can't do everything yourself. So you network with people that got other skills. And it's like one family, they know how to can all kinds of different stuff to make so things aren't bland. And another family that really gardens and got things going. And another family that might have 30 chickens, so they've got the eggs. So you just get to know people, and like-minded people are naturally going to attract each other.
John's saying, he froze there for a minute, but John's saying people always wait till something happens to start to learn, and then most likely it's too late. Good, and that's go ahead.
Something happened 10 to 12 years ago that kicked me in the butt to get going, and you take a look at it in our government. When we had race relations were really going great. 2001, when the towers fell, everybody was getting along. But then you had a turnover in the government, and all of a sudden you just seen this half of people divided against that half of people and started fighting amongst ourselves here in America, which is totally foolish. And when that happened right there, it was like game on for me. Start building up and getting ready and know and network.
No, for sure.
That's the key.
Yeah, we were the most, I worded that wrong. Basically, we were the most united we'd ever been after the towers fell and the planes crashed and Pentagon and all that stuff. 343 firefighters died that day. And we got a remembrance wall on the station here with everybody's name on it and their position. And, we walk by it every day. And it sucks because people are forgetting, they're so worried about splitting hairs, basically. You're here or you're on this side, you're left or you're right. We got to have a common ground of some sort. We need to be less left and we need to be less right, per se. And maybe meet in the middle a little bit. There's some of the stupidest shit I've heard though.
Well,
on the other side, but
they've taken the morals out of society, and our Constitution and our country was founded upon moral principles. And the moral principles of this country are being totally destroyed. If they destroy that, our Constitution will not stand. Because if no one has morals that the Constitution's written on, it's just gonna be a free for all out there, and we're seeing it right now in these larger cities. These riots and stuff. Okay, so a guy killed another guy, and it was wrong. Period. So now everybody's using this as an excuse so they can go out and do wrong also.
yeah,
But
exactly.
we're seeing in the riots. No, it's completely wrong. So you're seeing the morality of our country is being undermined, and that's going to say bye-bye to the Constitution. There was a comment here earlier about Agenda 21. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
been out forever.
right there.
You know, and all the politicians have pushed that for years to try to. And it's funny because it's not funny. It just seems that it gets closer and closer. Basically, how do you get rid of 2/3 of the population? You start a race war. You know, you basically say, okay, you wear this color, and you wear this color, and you guys hate each other so much that at some point these guys, there's going to be an implosion somewhere, and it's all they can wipe their hands of it because they can basically say they didn't do this. But at the end of the day, that's when you think of Agenda 21, they have to do that in order to make things happen as they have planned. So if you guys aren't familiar with Agenda 21, just look it up, type it in there somewhere in your YouTube, and you will be, or should be, blown away. So let's see. What's up, Nick Knox from Korea? You guys don't know Nick Knox? He's always out here, but he's in Korea right now. Stock up on plenty of fishing gear if you live close to the ocean. Yeah, if you live close to the ocean or large lakes.
Lakes, rivers, creeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's food out there, but I live in the country, so there's food everywhere. What you were saying there about the guy that with the potatoes, the farm right over here, they've got over 6,000 dairy cattle. They got to go out and dump milk out into the field because they don't have anybody that's going to haul it from the company that bottles it. There's nobody there driving the milk trucks.
See, that's the same thing with all the different vegetables of some sort. That stuff has to be picked by a certain day in order to get to the grocery stores by a certain day before it rots. And if nobody's picking it and nobody's loading it and nobody's driving it, it's the price is going to go way up, and then there's not going to be any. So
beef, the beef is here, but the problem is where they cut it up and package it and send it to your store. They don't have the workers, so you're seeing what meat is getting out there. You're now having to pay 2 and 3 times as much for it.
Yeah,
a lot of Burger King and McDonald's, they're not getting their full meat supply.
Yeah, and our dollar's going to shit.
That's hyperinflation. It's just starting to. You're just seeing. This is the beginning of hyperinflation. I haven't seen the silver prices lately.
I know gold's been way up. Let's see. Please say a prayer for my fellow brother, MM4, aka Midas. What's wrong with Midas? Oh,
Midas has colon cancer. He's
just
got diagnosed a couple days ago as stage 3.
Damn it.
He put out a video tonight.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will be praying for him for sure. Man, that sucks. Midas is a good dude. What's going to happen if Sleepy Joe and Kamala sign an executive order banning all semi-automatic rifles? Does anyone think freedom-loving Americans resist? I think it's getting much. Here's a lot of what I think. And I think that when you see all these polls and you see Biden winning by, like I think 7 points or whatever it was, depending on the one you're looking at. I think as most conservatives, we don't get in all the mix of shit. We're just waiting for the vote. You know what I mean? We're not the ones clicking the little button. Yeah, we're going to vote for this and that. And, I think for the most part, we're basically the silent majority waiting until it's time to actually make our vote happen, make it a real vote, not some stupid poll. What do you think, Daniel?
Well, last time they were kind of surprised that Trump won because all these polls showed that he was going to get trashed. Now, I mean, the media is controlled by a very few companies. So that, 4 or 5 people, all this media, and they're putting out what they want America to think. And how long ago, how many years ago, is 6, 7 years ago, they went and repealed the propaganda laws here in America. So now they can use propaganda against us. So, and that's what you're seeing in the media now. The media out there now, your newspapers, the TV, all this is just propaganda, telling America what to think. All the way, not just the news, but your TV shows and your movies. So I don't believe in polls.
Yeah, just strip polls. That's it. Let's see. Let's see if they win and end up banning semi-automatics. So he keeps asking this question. Conservative sniper, I think that's going to depend on how much shit we're going to take. I can't speak for anybody or anyone, but there's going to be a point when finally people just are like fed up with it.
Yeah, and my thoughts on that right there is conservative sniper hunter. This is on video and out there in the public. Do you really think I'm going to make a public statement on what I personally am going to do? I'm really not going to know what I'm going to do until I have to make that choice.
There you go. Good answer. The voters will mobilize. Democrats made the race problem. They are dividing us to conquer us. All for the election. Obama did it and got people killed. Yeah, I think we've been more separated since Obama was in place between, if you want to call it race wars or division between Americans. It just really sucks because at the end of the day, if you're someone that believes in America and you want to be here, there's people that complain that still never leave. I'm still waiting for all these actors to leave that were supposed to leave. If he got in, and I'm still waiting. So do they get to double move out when he wins again in 2020? We shall see. Yeah, Red October. Yeah, that's the thing about these. Most of every one of these names, or a good majority of these names, seen in here a lot. Seen them in the chats a lot. There's a few new ones. Let's see. There's a new one. Riding the Wave. What's going on? The Castaway. You're talking about Smith Month Act. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Everybody's kind of.
Smith Munded Act. I've never heard of that.
I haven't either. This is a good point, too. Drew Bradley says, future reference, just be careful what you type. Yeah, the things, doing this kind of crap is definitely, I'm sure I'm on somebody's freaking alarm flag somewhere.
I wonder, the Smith Munded Act, that's probably where they repealed, that's what they're using the propaganda now on us. It was against the law. Now it's no longer against the law.
Oh, okay. No, they will just double down on their fuckery if Trump wins. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, win or lose, man, it's still going to be a pain in the ass. It's going to be more rioting this, more rioting that. It doesn't matter who wins.
You better have food put away.
Mm-hmm.
And a good variety, because beans and rice, you're going to get so bored of that. Your wife's going to want to kill you by the 3rd week.
Exactly. I always tell people, or used to tell people a lot, or on some of my old chat stuff was, if you're going to do the beans and rice thing and all that kind of stuff, which is a great idea. I mean, I have rice and some beans and that kind of stuff, but you need spices. Spices are what make meals meals. Like if you don't have like, like Tabascos and whatever your favorite shit is,
Sweet and sour, barbecue sauce.
yeah, everybody's got their stuff, right? Yeah, barbecue sauce, sweet and sour, sriracha. I love sriracha. Matter of fact, I had some. I had some for dinner tonight. But yeah, having spices is definitely a must. Salt and pepper is huge. You gotta have tons of salt if you want to protect stuff. Yeah, Lynn says chili.
Chili over rice was, and if you got some goats and you can make goat cheese, it's even better.
Yeah, I've never been a huge goat cheese fan, but I think if I wanted cheese and I didn't have a dairy cow, I think I would figure it out.
Oh, and
habanero, there you go.
I mean, Millennial Millie, she's the YouTuber, puts out a lot of stuff.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, well, she came out with a documentary, and the police showed up, and boom, they frog walked her.
I actually watched the video. So her friend had posted the video or something like that. I think that started off with like this crazy Scotsman or somebody, right?
Fuzzy sent it out, and
Fuzzy, yeah.
Crazy Scotsman put it out there. Yeah, I sat down, and it's like, wait a minute, I know who that is.
Yeah.
And I still went down and reading the comments, and they're talking about how they hauled her off without reading her rights and anything. And that's one of the laws they got with the whole 9/11 thing on some of these, where they can tag you and bag you, and they don't have to review their rights or anything. And there you go.
Yeah, sure. Got some good comments out here. Let's see. Lynn says, how long on the food? How many can live for 6 months now on what they have? See, and that would be tough, A lot of people could make beds out of all the toilet paper they bought. Nice, soft, comfy beds, right? But for the most, that stuff is key. You get some rice or some beans, 1 can of like Denny Moore chili or something, and man, you got yourself a good meal for 4.
You get yourself a pressure canner. It doesn't matter what kind of meat it is. I mean, throw some barbecue sauce in there, and you got pulled barbecue beef sandwiches. Main thing is, do you know how to make bread?
Or do you have flour? Or do you know how to make wheat flour?
What are the alternates to to stretch your flour out? You can go, if you got cattails, you can use cattail pollen to add to the flour, and that stretches it out, and it actually tastes good.
Huh. And you're talking about the ones that are on the ponds, just sitting there, just easy to grab.
Yep.
The like the grinders, right? The grain grinders. Like there's I am way behind. Like there's a lot of stuff I want to learn still. I want to learn how to can correctly, because if you do it wrong, you could poison yourself. Now, do you run the lids on the top, or do you not run the lids on the top? So if that lid's, how like some people will once it gets pressure sealed, there's a top part and then there's the ring around it. Some people run it with no ring, so they know if it lost its vacuum.
Oh, you when you can it, you leave that screw ring on. It's when you take it out the next day, and the next day you can just take those rings off and leave them up there. That way you can see that it stayed sealed. But if your mother-in-law is staying with her, just always have her take the first few bites.
All right, Daniel, talk about some cool prep and stuff. I'm gonna go use the head real quick.
Okay. Well, I started out as being a prepper, but that is kind of evolved into when a prepper grows up, what they turn into is a homesteader, basically learning what our grandparents did, just what they did day to day to live. Because like my grandmother, they had on the farm, had the chickens, had the cows, beef cows had the gardens, and 80% of what they had was what they produced themselves. They would go into town and buy flour because it was easier than cranking on a grinder. So, and that's what I've geared towards. But one thing that Rick talked about earlier is like, how to, the flour for making bread and stuff. Well, one good replacement is cornmeal. And for cornmeal, all you got to do is get one of those hand crank grinders and just grind up corn. And cornbread, it goes with everything. It goes, chili, or you can just eat it by itself. Let's see here. Why doesn't Trump get the propaganda laws reversed? That's a good question. But, those laws, that stuff goes through Congress and the Senate. And America you got to call your senator, you got to call your congressman up about these propaganda laws to get them reversed. Start people, no matter where you live, just get on the phone and start harassing them. If they don't listen to you, vote somebody else in. So we went to one of the things there, Rick, we started talking about one of the replacements for flour is cornmeal, because cornbread goes with everything. Or you can just boil it up and put some syrup on it, and eat it like that too.
Okay, so let's have a little bit of fun. Cornmeal. How do I make, just off the top of your head, because this goes back to what I'm trying to get at, but I'll wait. So right now, power goes out. Internet blows up, all the bullshit. If you don't have books, right? If you don't have ways or knowledge of being able to make stuff, you have to go off what you know. So the only thing you get left is what you have in your brain if you don't have some type of book, right? So you got your cornmeal. Now, how do I make a corn tortilla shell? Not a shell, but a corn tortilla. So what do I need besides cornmeal or corn to make that tortilla shell?
You need the lady that my wife and I sat beside today at church, the Ramirez's,
I'm pretty sure
who have heritage seed corn.
What?
And heritage original. The oldest corn you can get. It's natural, non-GMO, and this is an old line of corn, and they grind up their own corn and they make tortillas and everything with that. And I'm getting some seeds from her here this fall, and that's what I'm going to have out here in my front garden for next year. And all you got to do is I'm going to learn how to make the flat tortillas. And we're starting a garden and gun club.
Nice.
Okay. And the girls say, "Oh, you just want us cooking?" No, I like to cook, and you need to learn how to shoot.
Yeah. And I like to eat.
Yeah, we all like to eat.
I'm sure somebody said that. Let's see. Yeah, Conservative Sniper says, but 50 kg bags of oats, corn, wheat, etc., and to seal them in Mylar bags. Yeah, that's the thing, is preparation, right? You can go out and buy all the stuff and think you're doing a good job, and you put it in, I don't know, buckets, say, but you got things that are want to destroy your supplies. One of them's moisture, one of them's bugs, one of them's, mice, rats. What else? What else is out there that wants to attack our shit?
Time.
There you go. Heat.
Because
heat's another one.
Some things, like the seeds that germinate, if you grind them, it just releases that germ that's in there, and it will make it go bad. So you want to store some things that aren't ground yet, so that germ is not released until you're ready to use it.
And now, what was that you want to?
Wheat germ. Wheat.
Germ.
If you store the wheat whole, you can keep it longer, but you still want to keep it away from the mice and the rats and the bugs. So you put it in a Mylar bag, throw it in your freezer for a couple days, and then pull it out. Huh? That'll kill all eggs and bugs and anything like that might be in it.
Yeah.
And then just put it away in your 5-gallon buckets. But there's still corn and wheat that the Egyptians stored that they found out there near the pyramids. When I mean, this stuff's over 2,000 years old.
Yeah, stored away.
Yeah.
So we got Liberty Seekers out there. We got the X-Ring, sent you a link. Got Motorboater.
Oh.
And we're having some fun talking about ways to be able to live.
Cooking oil.
Zombie.
Jerry Parker comes up with
that's
a
a
point.
good one.
Cooking oil, walnuts. Press walnuts and use that oil.
See, that's awesome. Yeah.
I got walnut trees all over here, and I've been wanting to make a press.
I got I have a huge black walnut tree at my house.
Yep. And gourmet chefs will pay $big for that oil.
So yeah, so you could just squish it all together and oil it, make it oil out of it, huh?
Yeah, you just squish the oil out of it, and then the walnuts that you got left, after that, you just roast them, throw in the salts, and bag that up too. That's protein.
Yeah. Turn them into some type of protein freaking Quaker bar or some shit.
And then you got good walnut oil. I mean, if you like eating walnuts, you're going to like the walnut oil for cooking with.
Yeah.
And you know that I go out here for sugar. What I've been doing is I've been collecting sap and making syrup.
Well, and you've been using those dandelions or whatever, right?
Oh, I made dandelion honey.
Honey,
yeah.
It
it tastes just like honey.
That looked really good.
In February, I go out and I tap a bunch of maple trees and I make syrup from that.
So I got bear fat is an amazing oil. That's cool.
As long as you get the bear fat when they're not eating fish, because I hear the bear meat gets pretty rancid when the salmon are running.
Oh,
so
yeah.
If you like fishy meat, okay, but if you don't.
Yeah, but if you needed oil anyways, you got it.
Well, bear fat, you can lube your freedom seeds with it when you got to go use black powder.
Yeah, you could probably make soap out of it like they did with whale fat back in the day too.
But the key is don't get overwhelmed by trying to learn all of it at once. Learn one really good thing to start out with and start just building up a little bit at a time. That's what I did.
Yeah. Nick Knox says iodine from walnut.
I'd have to look that one up.
Yeah, I don't know. I never heard that. Bear meat is the worst, Eric says. LOL, all those answers. Ingredients, TV says 1 package, 1/4 ounce active yeast. This is for bread, I'm assuming. All right, so if you don't have yeast, is there a way to make yeast?
Some things have yeast in them naturally. I would have to look that up. Yeast has to come from somewhere.
Questions to get, not for you to give me an answer so much, but for people to get thinking like.
Oh, are squirrels edible? Yes.
The flying rats, tree rats.
I grew up eating squirrel.
All you need is alcohol and cigarettes. You can barter for anything. That's a damn good point.
Yeah, but cigarettes, unless you got some tobacco plants, are going to be gone.
See, and Thomas says, not that he says anything, but it looks like his picture, he's like welding of some sort. So having skills like that, like I used to weld. I used to be a welder years ago in high school for a muffler shop, and just having some type of skills like that where you can fix stuff, build stuff. If you're a welder, you can make the A-Team freaking van, right? With the zombie killing bumpers and the freaking spikes and all sorts of cool shit, and mount guns and ammo and basically put some type of armor on your vehicle. So, having skills like that, or farming, or anything. So it's always good to have skills of some sort.
Oh, come on, conservative sniper. You know who I am. He keeps calling me Castaway.
Oh, yeah. His name is, on here it's called, his name is Daniel.
Yeah.
Wild yeast in the air can be used. Oh, wild yeast in the air can be used for sourdough. I love good sourdough. It's hard to find good sourdough, like really sour. I like really
It's
sourdough.
it's got to be old. The older sourdough gets, the better.
Get some of that with some butter on it. Loaded gun is a good bartering tool. Well, and that's the thing too. You think about it, like there's people that think this way. Now, is it right or wrong? It'll depend on your circumstances. It'll depend on how hungry your family may be. It'll depend on your ethical, moral compass. But there's people that think I don't need to save up shit. All I need is my AR, and I'm gonna go to my neighbor's house, and I'm gonna steal all his shit. And so there's people that plan on not prepping in a way and think they're just gonna hoard everybody's stuff, or not hoard everybody's stuff. They're gonna go get everybody's stuff. And
Out here, yeah, out here where I live, anybody that's like that or anybody that comes here like that is going to disappear fast because you get away from the suburbs and the cities. We went to school with one another. We see each other at the family reunion. We used to date their daughters. We
yeah,
know each other. Even if we don't like each other, we know each other.
yeah, and you know that Billy down the street, he's kind of a pain in the ass. He'd be the one I have to look out for, or
Yeah.
so it's not like. And then what's even worse is when you see a bunch of a bunch of cars you've never seen before. Like if you live like where Daniel does, and all of a sudden you see these 3 black SUVs pull up, something ain't right, right? You got to
Yeah.
in the instant, what the hell, spidey senses going off, like something ain't right. Let's see. I don't have a 22 rifle. Well, DW, get yourself one.
Or get an air rifle.
Air rifle.
Air rifles are nice and quiet. They take out squirrels and rabbits and cats.
And cats.
Oh yeah, they'll down a cat.
Oh, for sure.
Little, have yourself some Chinese food, some cat over rice with some sweet and sour.
Pellet
Good
guns
stuff.
kill big raccoons too.
Yeah.
To get in all your stuff.
Oh, you got to watch out.
Necessity to protect you and yours. See, I did a video years back about bearing. Now I lived in California at the time. This video I have 2 videos that I always just get these crazy comments. One of them is top 10 reasons cats suck, or something like that. And then the other one is bury your firearms. And so living in California, this was back in the day when ATF was making decisions on whether an arm brace if you could shoulder an arm brace and all this stuff. And I did a video on how to Mylar bag a firearm or whatever, or pistols and magazines, and how to bury them in the ground and how to keep things protected, kind of deal. And they would always say, well, if you're burying stuff, then it's already too late. Like, we basically saying like, I'm hiding all my guns. No, I'm hiding shit. It's been in the safe that I never use. Why not bury something somewhere? And I gave him the example of, okay, you are coming back from the grocery store with your family. All of a sudden, there's a bunch of, what do they call them? Marauders, right? People basically broke into my house and they're stealing my shit and basically taking my house hostage.
Yeah, they've taken over your house.
My stuff's there. I might have a couple things in the car. Or maybe I don't have anything, right? I still have the ability to, the old saying, right? Not have all your eggs in one basket. I could still go out into the woods. I could go find my stash, dig it up, and now I'd have some firearms or something. But they weren't understanding, like, basically the saying was, don't keep all your eggs in one basket. Don't have all your stuff sitting at the house. So when the government says, okay, let me have all your firearms, or somebody breaks, shit hits the fan and they're like a team of really organized badasses come in and basically steal all your shit. Cats don't suck, Rick. It wasn't even about a cat. It was about a guy he had the name Cat in his name.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, and I did a video on that. I was talking about him, and everybody thinks, it's about cats because it says top 10 reasons cats suck. And they're all like, you're mean. Cats are great. I get all these like 13-year-olds on there telling me how great their cat is and shit. I just crack up. And then you'll get people on there and be like, yeah, cats taste awesome. I eat cats all the time. It's funny to watch all the comments. It's freaking nuts.
Yeah. I know what you're saying about having a stash outside the house. If it ever gets, road warrior time, you gotta have a stash outside your home, because if you get a small group comes in your house and takes it over, possession is 9/10 ownership at that time.
Yeah.
But if you got a stash out there and you got something that's quiet, or if you have something where you can see in the dark, like MBGs, you can retake your home in less than 2 days. Rick has a phone call. I wonder if it's Mrs. Rick, or if it's the ex wanting to know why he didn't get an invite. Oh, horse meat? Yeah, horse meat was good. It was a main staple of the Indians. Okay. What, Rick? You're twirling your fingers around. We can't understand what you're saying. Let's see. I love cats. Yeah, with noodles. That's good. Oh, man, you guys are big cat lovers like I am. And yes, we know that women make natural yeast, and that's kind of sick. It make you sick, too. Reading about Chris cleaning rifles. I'm reading, okay, sugar yeast, what controls alcohol content. Yeah, if you're making any kind of alcohol, homemade type stuff, you got to have yeast, whether it's wine or moonshine. But the goat meat is the most eaten meat in the world right now, and it has been for centuries.
What meat is?
Goats. Yeah, goat meat is the top number one eaten meat in the world.
I could see that just because of all the third world country stuff. But if you could have a T-bone steak from a cow or a T-bone steak from a goat, I don't know why I'm asking you this. I know you're going to say goat.
I've never eaten goat, so.
Oh, okay.
I'll eat deer and I'll eat a T-bone steak. But if it comes down to it,
I eat deer and a T-bone steak. Eric says a Whopper with cheese. What's up, Ramsey Country? Who else is out there? Eagle Eye Shooting's out there.
GMT, yeah. Okay, I don't know if he was talking to me, but our church, a lot of people are coming back in. As a matter of fact, people are individually choosing to ignore the whole mask thing. They're individually choosing to go ahead and sing because they're not going to, we're not letting the government telling us how to worship. So you're seeing that where I live. When we go out to Walmart, half the people in Walmart aren't wearing masks. The signs in the stores at the front that said, if you don't have a mask on, we are assuming you have a health problem. So it's letting you know the store's not going to hassle you. The only places that I've ran into any kind of hassle is like Verizon. If you don't have a mask on, they got some employee meeting you at the door telling you can't come in.
Yeah, it's crazy for sure. Let's see, we got Lynn Holtz talking about sugar and yeast is what controls the alcohol content, roughly 15% to 20%. If you make a wash, no fruit juice, it will be higher alcohol content. You guys are out there making moonshine. I like it.
Yeah, you got to burn off that hot shot too. You can't drink that first pint out of there. Pint or quart.
Make you blind.
Yeah, kill you.
That is a good thing to know how to do, though, right?
Yeah, you're like, I can
make corn tortillas with this corn, or I can make 5 gallons of whiskey.
Or I can make 5 gallons of whiskey and feed my pigs with the mash after I'm
Oh, there
done.
you go.
You're going to have some happy pigs for a while.
You're gonna have some happy pigs. Yeah. If the earth was flat, cats would have knocked everything off the edge. Motor boater. I like that. Let's see.
That was up there a while. How far back are you?
I'm trying to catch up.
No.
All right, I'm up. I made it to the end. What about 5G? 5G is going to be the next thing that kills us all off.
They're tracking us with that stuff. 5G tracking everything we do. These nice little cell phones we have.
Yeah, mine does not have 5G. I have the older version, and I don't know if I want to upgrade. I've heard nothing positive about 5G other than, your service is better and all this other bullshit, but my service works fine.
Oh, let me go. I got to go get a pan here for Eagle Eye.
All right, let's do that. We got Levi. What's up, Levi Cummins? He says he's been stocking up a 12 and 20 gauge since that's the only ammo available. That stuff's good too, especially if you can do like mouse traps, rat traps. Oh, there's all those bullets. Let's do this. Let me go over here like this. Kabam! Look at all this.
That's 6. That's from a 2 mold, a 2 hole mold. That was from 2 hours from the cast off tonight. 608 30 caliber, 150 grain bullets in just 2 hours.
Nice.
And people can't. You go in a store, you can't. If you do find them, they only let you buy 1 box.
Yeah. No, and that's being self-reliant too as well.
We auctioned off. I didn't auction those off because in 2 hours putting that out, it's not the prettiest bullets around. So I already had this. This is, I just packaged it. This is 9mm, and those are 9mm, 500 of them, and that's just what we went and auctioned off for Thoughts of an Old Soldier. And I just did that in time when I wasn't doing nothing else. So 9mm is and 30 cal, no problem.
Yeah, it's good to have stuff stocked up for sure. Divvy up the corn, HRM. Let's see, if you live near a corn farm, they'll give you yellow corn off the ground if you pick it up.
Well, all this field corn that you see that's being produced now is it's been modified, genetically modified. So if things really go to crap, you're going to have one harvest of that corn, and then you're not going to have any corn because it won't reseed. So you need to get a hold of some heritage seeds, like I was talking about at the beginning, heirloom seeds of corn, and start growing that. Because then you'll have seed to keep growing, especially if you want to have cornmeal. And if you're in a pinch, just buy popcorn seed. That hasn't been genetically modified, so you can grind that and still make cornbread and stuff out of it, or popcorn.
Or popcorn, yeah.
Yeah.
And all you need for that is just some oil and a little bit of butter on it.
Yeah. Squish a few walnuts and you'll have the oil. Or go out and kill a bear and use that.
There you go. Ooh, fish tasting popcorn. Just put some Tabasco on top. You'll never know.
There's some sweet and sour and some cat meat.
North Carolina is the nation's largest sweet potato producers. They'll give you taters off the ground. Nice.
Yeah,
See, I got a buddy, Shiloh. He's on here once in a while. I don't know him really well, but he plants a lot of corn, but the corn is feed corn. It's not like sweet corn. It's this stuff's for feeding cattle.
Yeah, and that's GMO stuff. It won't reseed.
Eating is eating, boy. Pop Tarts is all I need, Tim Davis says.
Hi, Tim.
What's up, Tim? How you doing? DW wants to know how Eagle Eye shooting went. If we got smaller groups. Small groups taking over my house. That's what the Fontech Eco Trigger is for. Echo Trigger. See, I would love to own the night. I would love to get some extra cash together and get some night vision goggles. But it's not at the top of my list.
No.
Let's see. Spent 2 days fixing my kitchen sink. Damn it, Shaggy. Get that sink fixed. Let's see.
And I can tell right now, Ramsey Country is a hunter because, yeah, it usually takes a couple years to figure out new property, how the game works, and what neighbors are sneaking in, so you can catch them on your cameras.
He's got, yeah, he's quite the hunter. He has does a lot of coyote hunting. He has a large property, like large property. He does some type of farming or something, but he's got a big ranch. Thermal is the way to go. Yeah, I like thermal.
Yeah, you wouldn't know too much about thermal, would you, Rick?
No.
Being in the business that you're in.
Yeah, we have it all on our fire equipment shit, but I don't know. I don't like all the. I mean, it's way better than nothing for sure, but I don't know if I'd. No, they make actually the what is it, the newer models actually have thermal as well in it, so you can switch over to thermal. But I don't have enough experience behind any of that to know. But I just know it's expensive. I want one, and I don't have any yet. GTM, what's going on? I took my church camping this last weekend, and we had 2 tornadoes come through. Wow. Was glad to have some medical set aside. Do you guys have recommendations about IFACs? Great point, GTM. I don't have, I mean, they're all good, but I would say having medical supplies. I have been in the medical industry, I guess you'd call it, for 31 years as far as an EMT, and definitely having some medical gear along with some medical experience or some basic knowledge is definitely worth its weight in gold. So for sure.
Yeah, the people to really get to talk to about, having the kids together for medical, nurses. That's who's put all of our emergency packs and go through and check them. Because, I used to work with the teens and stuff, and we used to go cross country, and boom, I handed this like, here, take this, go through it. And we turned around and spent about $500 replacing all the expired stuff that was in the current kits that was in that group, and added bandages and all that. And that was just in case of like a car wreck or something, or somebody got a boo-boo. But yeah, just have something to take care of immediate before you can get to a professional like a doctor or a nurse. You got to end up stitching yourself up. Make sure you've got needles that are already disinfected, or that you know how to disinfect that, and the string you're going to be stitching yourself up with.
Yeah, it's best to just buy those little sterile kits that are already done. I got the stapler too, if you got a big gash, but crazy glue works well. Yeah, Ramsey has 590-acre farm with horses, goats, chickens, cattle, all sorts of stuff. Rick is in the biz. Let's see. I purposely let big bucks walk just to keep the population healthier. Oh, let big bucks walk. Gotcha. Plus, the big bucks don't taste as good as the little smaller ones.
You can make deer sticks out of it and trail bologna.
Well, wheeled and well arms out there. How you doing, sir? Thermal gear in the thick forest around your place would be invaluable.
If you can't afford that, just get some dogs.
Yeah. Dogs are taken out, unfortunately, pretty quickly with a 22 suppressed rifle.
You got 3 of them, you're going to hear a couple of them bark.
You better hope so. Yeah, staple gun, Levi says. Yeah, it's a staple gun, but it's basically already loaded. You just undo the package and
If someone's got that thermal gear, that's another reason to have your mother-in-law around. You can send her out, and that way you can locate where the guy with the thermal is. So you solve two problems at once. You got thermal gear now, and you don't have.
that's right. What the hell's going on in there? You really use crazy glue. Yeah, crazy glue works. If you got your arm filleted open or something, or a nasty cut on your finger, you can just draw it and squeeze it, and it burns a little bit, but it's better than bleeding out everywhere. Actually, when I got this finger cut almost off, all the way off. Was it this side or this side? I don't know. There's a video on it somewhere. They basically sewed it up and then glued it right over as well. So, yeah. So crazy glue.
Does pepper work as far as stopping bleeding?
Pepper?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Well, next time you get caught, or keep some pepper around. The next time you get cut, put it on there. See if it stops the bleeding.
No. Conservative sniper. We actually had a chance to use the ATN scopes. Those are pretty damn cool, especially when you can add the range finder on the front of it. They get a little pricey though, but they're pretty badass. New skin works good as well. Yep, TV says. Levi says he wants an ATN. Yeah. I want all that cool stuff. What's up, PNASCAR? The problem is it's just so damn expensive.
And Ricky froze up again.
I froze up? Am I still froze?
Not now. I can make it back.
Oh, all right. Well, we've been here for an hour and a half. And I got a whole thing of tea, but I got to go release some of that tea again.
Yeah, I've got an appointment tomorrow.
All right. Yep, it's late. All right. Hopefully you guys had fun. Hopefully we all learned something. I learned some stuff tonight, which is cool. I always learn something from you guys as well. Thanks, Daniel, for jumping on and giving us some cool stuff. Information. Also, the best thermal for the price. Shaggy Rifleman. What is that?
That's a cricket.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, a cricket and with some syrup, fry them up there. It tastes good.
I bet. A lot of people eat bugs. That's going to be last on my list. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great night. Yeah, no cricket was harmed during the filming of this video.
Get up. Ow! It bit me.
Oh, I would too if you're going to eat it.
Trying to throw it back out in nature.
Say, fly free. All right. Okay. Hope you guys had a good night. Hopefully you guys had some fun. Hopefully you learned something. And other than that, we are out of here. It was a pleasure. I always appreciate everybody showing up in the comment section. And see you guys on the next video. And don't forget, when I get back home, TB had donated 2 hats to give away. So when I get back, there'll be 2 Is Your 6 covered hats being given away. So thanks again. See you guys on the next one. What's up, Crowderman? Drew Bradley, HRM, Weapons Machinist, Conservative Sniper, Levi Cummins, and GTM, and a bunch of others. I gotta go.